Hello, once again. Welcome to the second of the three programs that we get into today. My name is Air, and we're going to dive straight into it because this is one of the oldest programs I have had, and it has been curated over a decade, customized and put together to be just excellence. All right, so let's dive in. We are actually going to go over the second program on our list, which is the nutrition and wellness. And it's all about fueling our body, our mind, and our soul for wellness. So, with that, I'm going to pause and I'm going to remind you guys that if you watched the second module, which you should have, you got to learn a little bit about my background. Now, throughout my 20s, I actually went and I had three undergrads. My undergrads being from UT of nutrition, health and wellness, and organic chemistry. So before we got into mental health or relationships, I was first and foremost in physical health. And this came through my testimony that you heard in Module 2, but also my desire to just be as healthy as possible from the inside out. Now, after I graduated my undergrad, for the next 9 years, I owned apothecaries and herbal remedy stores. I had a total of 8 of those across South Florida and Tennessee, and we did farm to shelf. So we did everything from growing the little seedling all the way through the lab, through the kitchen, through the whole 9 yards to get the product that you saw on the shelf. That was called Flying with Air. It is and will always be one of my life chapters that I have been blessed to be able to do and curate and create, impacting thousands of lives across the United States and actually 16 more countries. So I am very much into the natural way, Mother Nature, inside out type of healing. I prefer doing longevity, preventative type of care when it comes to nutrition and diet versus just trying to fix a problem. And I would always tell people when they came into the apothecaries that if I kept seeing you for the same thing for the next 3 to 6 months, then I'm not doing my job right. And I truly believe that if you are truly teaching somebody how to take control of their nutrition, of their health, that they shouldn't be in your seat for too long. That eventually they take the knowledge that you've given them, the tools that you've given them, and they've been able to apply them. So, in the apothecaries, we had all sorts of things from healing wound salves to tinctures, lotions, hair products. We had we had skincare products galore. We're talking mask, oil, serums, unguents, you name it. Sometimes we'd have people come in with poison ivy. Some people had eczema. Some people had acne, rosacea, and then there was also things inside the body. So maybe they had stomach pains or menstrual pains. We had so many incredible products that we still curate, but we only curate for our clients in this program. So I absolutely love that part of my journey. And this is something that we get to do that's extra special that no other coaching or counseling type of nutrition can do. So, as we jump into it, that's the history of why this particular program was developed and what makes it so special compared to other programs that are out there. And then I'll just highlight one more thing before we go further, that those stores were also organic based and they were also PETA approved. So, very much into doing good when I can. All right. Just like the other two programs, there's going to be a masterclass for this. Whenever a client comes on board, they get access to that masterclass. That is the difference between month 1 and month 2 on the pricing, as well as a major difference when it comes to just making sure that the client right away has the resources they need in order to succeed. All right, so here we go. Nutrition and wellness, the foundation. So I'm someone that I love chocolate. I love a little bit of divulgence type of feeling. I will definitely say that I can't just not have like a sweet slash like spiciness to my diet. So I believe in moderation, and our program is developed off of that. And it's also developed off the fact that we are all different. Our bodies function different. Some of our clients need weight loss. Some of our clients don't need weight loss, they need weight gain. Some of our clients are trying to gain muscle or just stay strong. And we meet them exactly where they're at. And again, we're starting from the inside out. So, as within, so without is definitely going to be one of the key mantras that we have here. We do introduce something that's going to be really special when it comes to having your beliefs as part of your diet because your health is sacred. And you're going to find that through our coaching that we really honor our body as if it is our temple, and it is. So the foundation really comes off of okay, how do we mentally, spiritually, soulfully, and then physically take care of our bodies? All right, so we're going to keep going. Our benefits for this program. So, the other program you already saw, there's going to be a list of benefits that when you introduce a program to somebody, either in person or on the phone or through a video similar to this, that you're able to really explain what we do to the client. Now, first and foremost, all of our sessions are going to be personalized. This is why the intake that the client gets, that gets a little bit of their background, their history, and their goals, is super important. And that's actually part of your onboarding process for the client. So when you make that final sale and we're ready to process, that's the first document that they're going to get is that intake to figure out, okay, how can we really serve you? Because our coach that we assign to you is going to definitely be aligned with those goals. For instance, if we have a client that is focused on spirituality and identifies with the universe and crystals or more of a holistic approach, we want to be able to align them with a coach that has those same values and can curate a plan to them just like it was with a Christian a type of based faith. With that, we have a lot of biblical principles that we can introduce on how God says to approach having the body being taken care of. So, those private sessions are very personalized. They happen at least once a week. As you can see, there's 6 private sessions per month. So, those sessions may be divided out between nutrition and wellness or even physical fitness. We do have the ability to have fitness trainers as part of the program. So if a client comes on board and they're up for that, then we will have them meet with them. All right. This goes back to my apothecaries for the second one the hair, the skin, the body. We do a monthly kit that includes 5 products for our client. It gets directly shipped to them. And with that, it's curated to their needs. Let's say it's a young woman that's in her 30s and she wants to have glowing complexion and grow her hair. Okay, those products in her kit are going to reflect that. But let's also be really vulnerable and say maybe she is battling stomach cramps or menstrual cramps during her menstrual cycle. Well, we have a salve that's actually for menstrual cramps, and we would make sure that we include that in her monthly package. So, again, we're really paying attention to our clients' needs and building a package for them. That's one of the highlights that you can stress that makes us different than our competitors or someone that just isn't giving that much attention to detail to really curate something that is for them. All right. Next, 5 motivational studies per week. This goes into the fitness goals, as you might imagine, and actually giving them case studies where they were applying the logic that we're giving or the information that we're giving to a more analytical person. Let's say there's someone that needs the facts. This is a great way to give them the facts. If someone on our client list isn't so into science and the facts, we can make this biblical, or we can even make it a spiritual based or even astrological based study. But we do want to make sure that we're motivating that part of them on a daily or almost daily basis, 5 times. So, like, that's 5 times per week. So, that's kind of just always being there for them throughout the process. So, next, we have the access to the 10 self improvement books. These are 10 of the 17 books that I've personally written, and they've already most likely received one of them because we do give one as a freebie to any potential client. And that's a tool for you to be able to connect with anyone out there that's trying to have a more wellness based, nutrition, faith based type of health, if you will. So you're going to have those. They're all ebooks. They immediately are going to be in the portal, so they're always available for our clients. Next, we have the lifestyle and fitness assessment. This happens every single month, and it's going to happen as soon as they start the program. So, again, we're getting really into okay, what is working for you, what is not working for you, and what type of fitness routine do you really see yourself having? Some of our clients are complete like gym rats and they love going to the gym. And then some of our clients are more yoga style or cycling or dance. And then others maybe don't work out or maybe they hate working out and taking nature walks and just getting outside is their form of exercise. We build a plan based off of that. Of course, we're going to push them a little bit and we want to see them grow and thrive and explore other options, but we really want to figure out what works for them and not just what we tell them to do. That's the difference between longevity and them giving up. And I'm just being real today. Next is 20% off savings for the wellness retreat. This happens twice a year. This is just an extra bonus that we like to throw in there because I love connecting with the clients, bringing everybody together. We tend to do these retreats in the Caribbean area. Our most recent was actually the Bahamas. So, with that, it's just sometimes we like to bring everybody together. I always have people from the team come as well to be able to just give it an excellent experience. And then next, we have our monthly assessment and progress review. This is going to be from the coach, and the coach really getting into okay, hard numbers and then also mindset. What has changed? Because sometimes the scale's not going to shift, but the mind is shift, and thus the scale will shift. Lastly, and not least, is the food and exercise journal. This is a journal that we love giving to our clients to help track their records and really get to see on their own where they are in their journey. All right, we're going to keep going. Nutrition and wellness. This is the client service approach. So, this is actually going to be 2 slides. So, we're going to get into this a little bit deeper. But essentially, we are holistic based. Our participants are always seeking more natural, more organic methods rather than the pill or some type of pharmaceutical approach. I have nothing against any of those. If a client comes to us and they are on Western medication, we're not going to recommend that they stop. We are not physicians, we're not giving medical advice, but we do want to introduce some other complementary type of methods or even alternatives that the doctor approves to be able to explore their health in a natural way. Again, with the organic solutions, the UDSA price for our bottles and our products that we do give in those monthly packages. That's going to be available too. And then it just introduces them to other ways because if they've never learned a different way of life or a different remedy or something along those lines, then they don't have all the information to have the optimal health that they are seeking. And I'll give you an example. So there is an herb called Lady's Mantle, and I call it the nature's best secret herb for women. And Lady's Mantle is really used for women during their menstrual cycles. Again, it's going to be for bloating or for pain and to reduce blood flow to make it more easy. It also reduces any type of heat and like helps calm and cool the body. That's something that if no one's ever been able to explore the natural remedies, they would have never known about. All right. So more to how the client service approach is for us is we do have a couple of different methods that I love to introduce, and we can even make a hybrid. So we do have a Christian perspective. I am somebody that I identify with being a woman of faith, and I really get fascinated on what the Bible says health should be like. And a lot of the ancient remedies that were available, or even the advice, actually still applies today. It fascinates me, and the Christians or the Catholics that come aboard as clients get really honed in on learning about how God or Jesus or the Holy Spirit says to treat the body and to work with the body. We also have the flip side. We have the spiritual connection. I am someone that absolutely has every certification you can think of when it comes to the Eastern philosophy of how to take care of the body. I have the yoga, I have tantra, I have breath work, these type of things that are more on the Eastern side of medicine. And the spiritual side of medicine we can introduce as well. We do have clients that are interested in crystals and gemstones and Reiki. I do have my Reiki license as well, or certification, I should say. So we can always introduce those. And again, since everything is super personalized for that client, it stands out compared to what else we have available out there into the world, or I should say, universe in that case. Next, we have the personal empowerment. Again, when we're connecting with people 5 times a week, maybe even 6 times a week, it's like having a new friend in your life. And this friend is able to not only keep you accountable and give you support, as you see in the next one with the community support, but really is going to be the difference between some clients giving up and trying again. And I am someone that I've been knocked down in life so many different times. I could tell you stories for days on how I've been knocked down. But my network, my community, my mentors, my coaches are the ones that help me get back up and try again. And we get to be that person for someone else. And I cannot think of a more rewarding way to live. All right. So we're going to dive into some of the reasons that our clients benefit from the program. First and foremost, we have that personalized guidance. This guidance, again, is curated to them based off of their belief system and where they want to go. I'm a huge advocate of we meet people where they're at. And if we know what we're talking about and we know what we're doing, which we've have extensive education and experience doing, then we can meet them and we can teach it a million different ways. If you can't teach something a million different ways, you don't know it. And that's okay. It just means that you need to go review it. And that's the mentality I like to have when I'm giving guidance to our clients. The consistent motivation. Again, you're going to get stagnant in life. You'll get stagnant in health or in your fitness goals. And having somebody there that knows how to motivate you, that understands your personality, is going to be a key difference on if you stay down or you try again. The continuous learning. I am never going to get tired of learning the next biological secret when it comes to our body, because our body is just this beautiful masterpiece, or another method or another approach. Because every single person's different, we will be continuously learning, and thus we can share that information with all of our clients. That's the beauty of having a community of clients, is that what works for one may work for another, but just slightly different. And as we collect all of those beautiful testimonies and see their journeys of transformation, we're able to only excel. Last but not least is the evaluation. Since we undergo this lifestyle and fitness assessment every month, we really can see what's realistic for this individual and how can we push that to just another level. Sometimes it's not about jumping the scale from like 5 to 10. Sometimes it's about those small little increments where they're able to play with their kid for like 10 more minutes that night, or they're able to pick up their girlfriend and have a fun night, or they're able to know that they can go skiing and they're going to be super healthy and that they're not going to fall and hurt themselves because they have strong joints and muscles. So those type of things are actually invaluable and more valuable, I would say, than just seeing a shift in a scale. So going into a little more, I guess we're not done yet. We have so many reasons. We also have the cost effective retreats, as I mentioned before, that's saving 20% by being a client. They love that because it does give more support and they meet other people that are like minded on those retreats. And it is just different when I'm in person with somebody versus virtually. And this goes for coaching, and this also goes for even like our contractors and our employees. When you're with somebody, you just have so much more opportunity to absorb information and be able to connect on a deeper level. The regular monitoring that we have, because we are checking in so much, actually gives us a leg up compared to a traditional physical trainer or nutrition or dietitian, because they may be checking in maybe once a week or even once a month, versus us being there so often and available is a game changer. And then the accountability and reflection, right? Like we are taking a more active approach to where it almost becomes personal. Like I get excited when our clients get excited. I will admit I get sad when they get sad. And I know that, I have my own personal boundaries and that their journey is their own, but at the same time, I do feel like it shares that accountability because we want to see them win and they want to win. All right. So we're going to dive into a little bit about how the client would see this and their perspective from what I've heard from our clients and my experience with the customers in the stores is they do love the personalized guidance. I think that one of the main things I hear that makes us stand out that they just time and time again like will remind me of is the fact that they bring in the spirituality or the religion or the mindset to what we do, instead of just saying, go, here's this weightlifting program, go do it. They're acknowledging that if you're spiritual, maybe you want to know more about the chakras and how that connects with your fitness. So that stands out hands down with our clients. They bring that up over and over, and it's a great way to share a program. And whenever it comes to introducing it to a new client. Next is that all natural approach. They absolutely love that we do have those monthly kits for them and that it's available and sent to them. But they also love the fact that it is natural based, that this was grown. Like it was actually in the ground. We saw it, we curated, we took care of it, we planted it, we harvested the whole 9 yards, right? Farm to shelf. So that's different. That stands out compared to just a regular gym membership or a meal prep type of service. So that's available. Next is the holistic wellness clients. They get not just like the physical, but the spiritual health aspect and the mental health aspect of it gets crossed over from our other programs. So that stands out. We're actually thinking of the neuroscience of the brain and we're thinking of the microbiome of the body and introducing that into our coaching and our program. Last but not least, our ongoing support, knowing that we have them just not on a daily basis, but also on a monthly basis. Let's say they are crossing over and they're actually one of our high value brides from our couples and they need nutrition. It's a glorious little crossover where they get to be part of this program for 3 months up until their wedding. And then they're also getting the best of both worlds with their relationships, their mindset, and nutrition. A little bit of a cough there. I will say that I talk a lot when I do these. And we are almost finished though. We're here at the investment. I'll just explain this. The numbers are here. You have them on the sheets. Eventually you'll have these memorized and you won't have to look at the sheets. but I will break it down once more, just like I did throughout the presentation. That way you really understand where these numbers come from. So, first month is onboarding month. That's the $900 for onboarding. That will take care of their intake information. It gives them access to all of those books that I mentioned, all 10 of those. It will have their nutrition assessment. It will have all 6 of those sessions as well. And then it will have the masterclass available for them. So that's 5 things in one. From there, they have the whole database. They have everything that was on that benefit page that you saw earlier. But now for the following months, they don't need to be reintroduced to something they already have. So it goes down from that 900 to that 720 a month. And that includes all those personalized sessions, the intake forms, the assessments, and all of those motivational check ins on the 5 times a week. So that's available. Some of our clients are studying or trying to go into like competition mode and they want additional sessions. We are all for that. We have some sessions that are based off of, again, couples and brides and grooms, and they're getting in shape. We also want to be able to provide for women that are looking to get pregnant or men that are about to have children and trying to get in the best shape of their life. So they may want additional sessions as well. So we have that price at being the 85. And then something cool that we've started doing is actually meal prep service and delivery for certain areas. So we can't provide this for all of our clients yet, but we can definitely do it like here down in Miami, where we can do the 5 curated farm to shelf type of meals or farm to table, I should say in this case, and that's 520 for the month. All right, guys. So we're at the end. That was a lot, but you did good. If you want to review this, go ahead, rewatch the video, take some notes, ask any questions. Remember that you have a whole database for each of the programs, and there's going to be more resources. So check out those resources because it's only going to help you when you get out there and you start sharing the nutrition and wellness program. All right. You are free out into the wild. Let's go to the next module.